What if the only thing standing between you and the life you want is fear? It hides in your excuses, in the hesitation before a decision, in that tight feeling in your chest when you think about trying something new. Fear convinces you to wait, to stay quiet, to shrink. But the truth is, fear doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you stuck. It whispers lies about who you are and what you're capable of. And without realizing it, most people hand over their future to fear, piece by piece, moment by moment, until there's nothing left but regret. It doesn't always feel loud. Sometimes it's just a subtle discomfort, a quiet not yet, a voice that says maybe later. But what is that later costing you? Every time you delay, a part of you withers, a part of you that was meant to grow, to lead, to build, to shine. You weren't born to live small. You weren't made to simply survive, drifting from one safe day to another. Deep down, you know this. That's why it hurts. That's why staying in the same place, doing the same things, drains your energy. Because your spirit is not designed to settle. Progress isn't comfortable. It's not supposed to be. Growth is messy. It's uncertain. But it's also powerful. It's where confidence is built, where purpose is discovered. Every great breakthrough you crave is on the other side of a risk you haven't taken yet. Fear tells you to protect what you have, but it never shows you what you're losing by staying the same. You lose time, you lose potential, you lose chances you'll never get back. And one day you'll realize the scariest thing wasn't failing, it was never trying. You have dreams for a reason, visions that tug at you, keep you up at night, fill your mind with possibilities. But dreams without action rot. They don't die all at once. They die slowly, from years of what-ifs and maybe laters. Fear will always offer you 1,000 reasons not to move, but none of them will ever match the pain of a life unlived. You have one shot, one life. And every second you spend avoiding discomfort is a second stolen from your future. There is no perfect time, no perfect plan. There's only now. And in this moment, you get to choose. Will you keep feeding your fear, or will you feed your future? Watch till the end, because something in you is ready. You may not feel strong, you may not feel brave, but you're here, you're listening, and that means a fire is already burning inside you. Let it grow, let it push you. You're closer to breaking through than you think. Don't let fear kill your progress, not anymore. Let me know when you're ready for the next section, or if you'd like a voiceover-ready audio guide to match this tone. If fear is the enemy, then understanding how it works is your first weapon. Your mind is not broken. It's not weak. It's doing exactly what it was designed to do, protect you. But protection isn't always progress. Your brain is hardwired to avoid pain, to escape risk, to cling to the familiar. That's why you feel resistance when you think about doing something new, even if it could change your life. It's not laziness. It's not lack of motivation. It's the mind defaulting to safety. And if you don't learn to challenge that default, it will quietly run your entire life. You feel fear not because you're in danger, but because you're stepping outside what's known. And the unknown triggers the alarm bells. Your heart races. Your thoughts spiral. Your body wants to freeze. But here's the truth that changes everything. Discomfort doesn't mean stop. It means grow. The very feeling that makes you want to retreat is the signal that you're moving towards something that matters. Growth always comes dressed as fear. So when it shows up, don't run. Recognize it for what it is, a sign that you're stretching, evolving, becoming more. The people who seem fearless aren't without fear. They've just learned to walk through it. They understand that confidence is not something you wait for. It's something you build by doing the hard things, by facing the discomfort, by proving to yourself that you can survive the unknown. Every risk you take teaches your brain a new truth, that fear is not fatal, that you are more capable than you think, and that you don't have to feel ready to begin. Your brain responds to patterns. If you always avoid what scares you, your fear grows stronger. But if you move toward it, little by little, your courage grows louder. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the more natural it becomes. Small steps lead to big shifts, one hard conversation, one honest decision, one bold move. Each one rewires your mind to trust action over hesitation. You become someone who chooses growth over comfort, not once, but daily. The moment you stop seeing fear as the enemy and start seeing it as a doorway, your entire life begins to change. You stop living in defense. You start playing offense. You stop shrinking and you start expanding. There's power in that shift, a power that doesn't wait for perfect timing, a power that belongs to you the moment you decide to stop letting fear write your story. You were never meant to live trapped by the limits of your mind. You were meant to challenge them. You were meant to rewrite them. And that process starts with one truth: you are not your fear. You are the one who notices it. You are the one who decides what comes next. The question is, are you willing to act while afraid, ready for the next section, or want a visual storyboard idea for this message? Courage is not a special trait given to a few. It's a choice available to anyone. The life you admire, the growth you crave, the confidence you wish you had, it all starts with one decision: to act even when it's terrifying. The gap between where you are and where you want to be is not talent. It's not luck. It's boldness. Progress never asks for permission. It waits for you to show up, uncertain and unprepared, and take the step anyway. You will never feel completely ready. That feeling never comes. What comes is the opportunity and your willingness to answer it. Fear is loud, but it is not wise. It tells you all the things that could go wrong, but it never shows you what might go right. It's a voice that paints failure in vivid detail while keeping your potential in the dark. And if you keep listening to it, you'll never find out what's possible for you. Because fear doesn't just stop you from making mistakes. It stops you from making anything at all. It's a thief of ideas, of movement, of transformation. And the more power you give it, the smaller your life becomes. But when you decide to move, even in the smallest way, everything begins to shift. A single risk taken in faith opens doors that comfort could never unlock. When you go after something that matters to you, the world starts to respond. Energy shifts. People notice. Momentum builds. And more than anything, you begin to trust yourself. Not because everything worked out perfectly, but because you finally did something real, something hard, something your fear told you not to do. Boldness is not recklessness. It's clarity. It's knowing that what you want is worth the discomfort. It's understanding that failure is part of the process. Every bold move carries the chance of loss, yes, but it also carries the seed of greatness. Playing it safe never made anyone proud. Taking risks is where identity is forged. It's where purpose is discovered. And it's how progress is made, not just in your goals, but in your soul. You don't need a guarantee, you need a reason big enough to outweigh the fear, a reason rooted in who you want to become. You are not just here to survive your life, you are here to shape it, to stretch it, to fill it with effort, intention, and courage. You don't get that by waiting. You get it by stepping in, even with shaking hands. You get it by doing what fear says you can't. Your greatest strength isn't in avoiding risk. It's in choosing it despite the voice that says you're not ready. That voice will always be there. But you don't have to obey it. You can rise above it. You can silence it with action. And every time you do, you move closer to the life that's waiting on the other side of fear. Let me know when you're ready for the next section, or if you'd like a visual theme suggestion to go with this tone. There's a silent cost to playing it safe, a slow erosion of who you could have been. Most people don't even see it happening. They avoid discomfort, delay decisions, stay busy with distractions, but deep inside, something feels hollow. Not because life is hard, but because something important is missing: purpose, growth, movement. And without those things, even a comfortable life becomes a heavy burden. You're not here just to manage your existence. You're here to expand it, to take up space, to leave a mark. And that requires action, especially when it's scary. Comfort promises peace, but delivers stagnation. It's easy to stay where it feels familiar, easy to settle into routines, silence your voice, and convince yourself you'll try later. But later becomes never, and never becomes regret. The weight of unrealized potential is heavier than failure. Failure ends, it teaches, it passes, but regret lingers. It whispers years later about who you could have become, about what your life might have felt like if you had just dared. And that thought is far more terrifying than any temporary risk. You don't run from the unknown because it's dangerous. You run because it's unfamiliar. But unfamiliar is not unsafe. It's simply unexplored. That next level of your life, the one with more peace, more impact, more fulfillment, it lives in unfamiliar territory. You can't grow by repeating the same safe choices. Growth demands risk. Not foolishness, but bravery. The courage to say yes when everything inside you says to wait. The strength to stand tall when fear tries to pull you back into the small version of yourself. You already know what staying still looks like. You've lived it. Now it's time to ask what might be waiting if you moved. Not when it's easy, not when it's certain, but now when your heart beats faster, when the doubts are loud, when the come isn't promised. That's when transformation is born. Not in comfort, but in challenge. Not in certainty, but in decision. This is how you reclaim your life. Not all at once, but one bold choice at a time. Every time you choose to act in the face of fear, you take your power back. You show yourself that your life is not dictated by your limitations. It's built by your choices. You are not powerless. You are not stuck. You are standing on the edge of the life you were meant for, and all that's left is the step. No one can take it for you. But the moment you do, everything changes, not just outside, but inside. You become someone new, someone stronger, someone who doesn't wait to be ready, someone who becomes ready by rising. Let fear be the trigger, not the trap. Let it remind you that what you want is just outside what you know, and if you don't act now, you might never know what was possible. Take the step. Take the risk. Your future is waiting for someone bold enough to claim it. Let me know when you're ready for the final section, or if you'd like a title animation idea to match the message. This is your turning point. Not tomorrow, not someday. Now. This moment holds more power than you realize, because it's in this very second that you decide who you're becoming, not by wishing, not by waiting, but by choosing. You can either keep feeding the same patterns, the same doubts, the same fears, the same hesitation, or you can break the cycle. You can rise. You can interrupt the script that's kept you small and write a new one, the kind that begins with action. Bold, imperfect, powerful action. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to stop lying to yourself. You've said you'll try when things calm down, when you have more time, more confidence, more clarity. But deep down, you know the truth. Those things aren't coming. You create them. Confidence is built in motion. Clarity is born in movement. And the time you're waiting for won't show up unless you make space for it. The life you want is not hidden behind ease. It's earned through effort, through bold steps that stretch you beyond your fear and into your potential. The fear won't disappear, but your relationship with it will change, because when you stop running from fear and start facing it, you take its power away. It becomes fuel, not a wall. Every time you choose to act, the grip of fear loosens. Each step forward rewrites the story you tell yourself. You stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I just did." That shift changes everything. It breaks limits, it transforms mindsets, and it wakes up parts of you that have been asleep for far too long. You are not here to stay hidden. You are not here to dim your light for the comfort of others or the safety of your own doubt. You are here to rise, to become, to lead yourself toward the life that calls to you in quiet moments, the one you've almost talked yourself out of too many times. But not today. Today is different. Today you remember who you are, not just a survivor, a builder, a fighter, a creator. You are capable of far more than you've allowed yourself to believe. This is your call to step into that power. Not because you feel fearless, but because you feel ready to stop letting fear win. The cost is too high. The price of staying small is your peace, your pride, your purpose. And you deserve more than that. You owe it to yourself to find out what's possible when you stop running and start choosing. Choosing courage. Choosing growth. Choosing you. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You need one moment of truth. One decision that breaks through the fear and opens the door to everything waiting on the other side. This is that moment. Let it be the one you look back on and say, "That's where it all changed." The decision you make today echoes far beyond this moment. It shapes your direction, your mindset, your future. Every time you act despite fear, you send a message to your own mind, "I'm not waiting anymore. I'm not living small, and I'm not letting fear win." That choice rewires something deep inside you. It changes how you see yourself. Because the moment you face what you once avoided, you become someone new, someone who follows through, someone who trusts their inner strength more than their inner doubt. You don't need a dramatic shift to change your life. You need consistent, courageous choices, the kind that stretch you, the kind that force you to show up, the kind that demand more from you, and then reward you with a deeper sense of pride, purpose, and control. Fear wants to convince you that staying the same is safer, but it's not. It's just slower pain, quiet, invisible pain, the kind that accumulates quietly month after month until one day you look back and don't recognize who you've become. Or worse, you still recognize yourself, but not in a good way. You see everything you could have been and weren't, simply because fear kept winning. That's not the story you have to live. You are not locked in the past. You are not trapped by old habits. You are one bold decision away from momentum. You are one honest step away from the version of you that doesn't just talk about change, but lives it. You won't always feel motivated. That's not a flaw. It's human. But you must be willing to act anyway. Motivation is not the engine, discipline is. And discipline comes alive when you decide that your future is more important than your fear. It's not about eliminating fear. It's about leading in spite of it. It's about showing up every single time with the understanding that courage isn't loud. It's not always a roar. Sometimes it's a quiet yes when everything inside you wants to say no. Sometimes it's doing the hard thing when no one's watching. Sometimes it's simply refusing to quit when it would be easier to walk away. These moments are where character is born, where identity shifts, where momentum begins. You have everything you need within you, not because you've done it all before, but because you have the power to start. That's all anyone ever has. A beginning, a choice, a refusal to stay afraid, and that's what separates the fulfilled from the frustrated. The ones who act even while shaking become the ones who grow. And the ones who grow win, not always right away, not without setbacks. But with every risk, they move forward, stronger, clearer, bolder. So take the step, feel the fear, and act anyway. This is your invitation to a life that's bigger than safety, bigger than hesitation, bigger than anything fear has told you. This is your time. Own it, claim it, live it.